Hi guys, so this week I have a very short and sweet review for you on something that I shouldn't have bought because I said to myself I wasn't going to buy any more books in March, and then I bought some more books in March. I read Saga, which is by Brian K. Vaughan. It's kind of a Romeo and Juliet idea where it's a boy and girl, well, man and woman, meet and they fall in love, and they're from opposite sides of some sort of war, only this is not exactly just a household feud, it's an intergalactic war. This follows these two star-crossed lovers as they try to escape the ever-growing list of people who want to kill them and their newborn baby. I think it's really, really interesting. It's fast-paced, it keeps you hooked. There's an array of really strange and fantastic characters and species. Obviously this is sci-fi and there's a lot of different species involved, species you don't even know what exactly they are. It's really, really bizarre, but I read it in one sitting. I was really engrossed and I can't wait to buy the next volume. I'm actually really having to give myself some sort of willpower to try and not buy the next volume at the moment. Even though you have all of these different species and worlds and things going on, it still maintains its understandability. I think it's really, really easy to follow, really understandable, really easy to get into, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The design is beautiful and the art and the colouring, and some of the panels are fantastic. The different changes in panel sizes and things like that are things that I love about graphic novels. There are 2-page panels in this, a couple of them, and they're beautiful. This one is just gorgeous, and it's kind of a shame that there's the crease in the middle because it's so gorgeous. The art is so fantastic. I mean, even the single page ones, they're just beautiful. Again, another double pager. And not only that, the lettering in this as well. I know, like, because I do love graphic novels, I do try to make a point of thinking about every single thing that every person does when a graphic novel is produced, because even the lettering really makes a difference, and you'd be surprised, but the font and lettering in this I think is just fantastic, and I really loved it. It really stood out to me, and the way it's set on the page, just everything about it I really, really enjoyed. You can immediately root for these characters, and I don't know whether that's because I'm kind of a big softie, but I really rooted for these immediately. Alana was really funny and sassy, and she's just sort of takes no shit from anyone, and Marco's kind of a bit calmer. He's one of those sort of troubled by his past kind of characters. He's clearly been a soldier who has done a lot of things he's not proud of, and he kind of wants to get away from that, but he is still willing to do whatever is necessary, and you can kind of see that berserker rage in him at one point. There's loads of action, it's pretty much non-stop action, and there's dialogue in here that is so genuine, and I love that, especially considering you have this, obviously this fantastic sci-fi world that you have no idea what exactly is going on, and you don't really understand it. I mean, you understand the story, but you don't have any background on what these creatures are and what exactly they're fighting over. One thing I thought was a little unnecessary is that there was a lot of sexual scenes in this, and I mean a lot. Like, don't read this if you're against that sort of thing. There is definitely sex and sexual references, and not pleasant sexual references in this, so like, yeah, definitely if you don't like that, there's definitely quite a bit in here. It's not just like skirted around. Although it's something I'm kind of getting used to at the moment. I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing, but a lot of things at the moment, a lot of adult novels seem to have a lot of sex within them. I'm just mainly thinking Game of Thrones, but you know, it's kind of like unnecessary, but to the point where it's not even shocking anymore, like, meh. And this seemed unnecessary, but I think it was mainly just, again, it's just to show an all-round view of life, I suppose, and that's part of life. It's really not that big a deal. I wouldn't say not to read this based on that unless you are someone who's really against that sort of thing, but it's just sex, really. It's not that big a deal, and that's why I kind of think it's unnecessary, because it's not that big a deal, it doesn't really add anything to the story and you don't really need it in there, but I suppose there are for and against arguments which I can fully understand both ways, so I'm kind of on the fence about it, I guess. Even so, it didn't alter my opinion on the graphic novel as a whole. I flew through it. Like I said, I read it in one sitting. I absolutely loved it and I cannot wait to read the next volume. So this has been a really, really quick review, but I would thoroughly recommend reading this if you like graphic novels and sci-fi in particular. I'm already recommending this to a couple of my friends and trying to get them to read it because I want to be able to talk to some people about it as the series goes on. And I rated it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It was utterly brilliant and I just really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, check Saga out if you like graphic novels and especially sci-fi graphic novels in particular. Don't be surprised if there is quite a bit of sex in it though, so you have been warned. That's pretty much it from me for today's review, and take care, stay shiny, bye.